Living Color or Chappelle Show?
You could. Well, I mean, you could also argue that without Living Color, you wouldn't have Chappelle Show. You could argue that.
That's
but then you can also but then you can also throw in, well, without SNL, there would be no In Living Color, and you could just break it down that way. But like, let's just only argue the 2 seasons of Chappelle Show versus the 5 seasons of In Living Color.
Yeah,
like you might have 5 years of good stuff, but you had like banger after banger after banger in a row. Like Chappelle Show season 2 is legendary. There's not a bad episode. It's just like perfect show.
If we're saying pound for pound, if we're saying pound for pound, I think Chappelle's Show is the better sketch show, mainly because the sitcom aspect was so ingrained in entertainment then that the lack of it is part of the charm of Chappelle's Show. So even though we heard the laughter of the audience, the sketches were usually pre-done. It wasn't live, so a lot of them weren't live. And then it was still, you had the stand-up aspect, so the crowd was there. People saw that there was a crowd, heard them laughing, but they were genuinely being made to laugh, as opposed to like a sitcom format. Even though the audience, I'm sure, was laughing their asses off at Living Color. But yeah, pound for pound, give me Chappelle's Show.
I'm gonna say Living Color.
I don't blame you. I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, because of just like the people, the sketches that came out of it, the people that came out of it, like just the
That's
funny
fair.
shit, and just like I remember watching it every week and just being like, man, this shit is hilarious. You had the cop who was just the head and then like the little arms and legs. You had like the handicapped superhero. You had Jamie Foxx and his character. You had Jim Carrey and Fire Marshal Bill.
James Carrey.
James Carrey. But you had so many memorable like characters they had made up and kept going on and on throughout the show that it's just like, once again, Chappelle is great, but it's like there were so many wonderful characters I wanted to see every week on In Living Color.
So I lived through In Living Color as a kid and have gone back as a young adult and watched it when it was still on Comedy Central or whatever it was. They would run it, reruns of it. I lived through Chappelle's Show in college because that's when that came out. Is when I was in college. In the dorms, it was an event. It was new episode of Chappelle's Show. We're going to the Commons to watch it together. Both are great. I will never turn down watching either.